Hey, Pasa YouTube, it's me again, back with some more MediEvil. In the previous episode, we got through the Return of the Graveyard level, beating the Graveyard Guardian boss, and the Scarecrow Field as well, despite how difficult it was. While doing so, unlocking the Daring Dash, and in this episode, we'll be going through the Pumpkin Fields, or Pumpkin Gorge, I guess. With these two levels coming up, they're not as difficult. Oh gosh. Not as difficult as the Scarecrow Fields, thankfully, but there is another, I want to say, major boss coming up ahead. Even then, it's not really major, but it is a difficult one. Actually, not even difficult, it's just, how do I put this? It's an important boss. Sorry for the lack of action there, just had to take care of something on my computer. I know it's been a while since I've been uploading videos, so I guess episode 3 will be going up somewhat soon-ish. But some issues with life have been... oh god. Okay. Some issues with life have been stopping me from uploading and recording, but nothing really too major. Those enemies that just popped out of the ground there, those pumpkin men, those will be our main enemies throughout the entire level. They're not too difficult, especially with the broadsword here, which we also got as well. And now I can actually show you guys what we can do with the broadsword, which is what I wanted to show off before. The 0% that's on the sword over here means we can enchant it, and enchanting it empowers the sword and allows it to defeat demon enemies, which we have not encountered yet. But if we also enchant it, trophy, nice. Is there a energy vial on here? It's not. Now, as you can see, the enchantment does go down in percentage again. You can always re-enchant it, but it does cost 100 gold, which should be chump change by this point of the game for you. Getting to what I was talking about before, those enemies don't come back, I guess. Or are they just up ahead? Okay, here they are. Yeah, as you can see before, it took about 5 or 6 hits to kill those guys before in the cave. And in here, it's just 3 or 4 with the enchantment. So it does provide a power boost, but it's not anything like extreme. We can unlock this house here. I think what I was trying to say is that the boss coming up and this level are both interconnected. They're not particularly challenging, at least not in this version. However, in, I believe it's the Japanese version of this game, the boss has a lot of health and can regenerate. It has a lot of health in this version as well, but it cannot heal itself, thankfully. Is this thing not go up anymore? Or am I just doing it the wrong way? So once you get that rune up here, you're going to be doing this a little bit in this levels. It's mostly just to get these runes over here and to get to new locations. My commentary still sucks, I know, but please bear with me. I'm trying my best. And as you see here, the sword is no longer enchanted. No big deal, we can always go back and get it re-enchanted. But it's not going to be anything too serious. These exploding pumpkins are giving me the most trouble here, but thankfully it's... Again, a lot of the stuff in this game, if you've been collecting chalices, is not too bad to deal with. Obviously, there's a case of making sure you avoid enemy attacks and just keep your distance. Don't go too crazy. But at the same time, you are allowed to take a few risks if you really need to. You can have Dan walk instead of just dashing around like this if you really want to avoid damage and play it smart, which I heavily recommend if you're not used to this game. And you don't just walk into random enemies like that, or random obstacles. Should be... there we go. There are cases where you can see a door is closed, but you just have to walk right to it. And as always, there's always going to be books here you can read to get some lore and some hints about what you can do in the level too. Up and down these magical mushrooms go. They will take you higher and higher, but be careful not to fall and sink without a trace. Just like in the Return of the Graveyard, sinking means Dan loses a life, and it's best not to do that. Like that. Of course I would. Try to be risky and do it with a dash jump, which I think you can, it's just timing. But I should not have risked that. Oh well, live and learn, and I get to show you guys what that's like anyway. There's always a good chance to explore as well, because it's kind of a requirement to explore in this kind of game. I wouldn't necessarily call it a Metroidvania, because it's really not. I mean, with Metroidvanias, if you know what type of games those are, they usually require a lot of exploration, just in general, and alongside the exploration, there's a lot of backtracking. There's not really all that much backtracking in this game, it's just a rather straightforward, press on with the adventure kind of game. If you get all the collectibles, then you won't really need to go back. I think the only real backtracking in this game is in a level on the second path that I didn't take. And even then, if you get everything that's... excuse me. If you collect everything that's in these levels, you don't really need to. I'm trying to think about if there's any other backtracking besides that. And I don't think there is. Star Rune... Okay, we can go back to get the green rune that I missed out on. And that, I believe, opens the gates up ahead. Right over here. Get there. Okay. I think the chalice is in a area I skipped before, in that little cave where the enchanting thing is. I think there's a health vial right there because I desperately need it, especially now. And I think this is just either a club or a shield. Shield, thankful. Thankful. Okay. I can English. I meant to say thank you very much because I needed that shield. Not desperately, but any time where I feel like there's if there's damage done to my equipment, I kind of want to get it fixed right away. So we got the Star Rune. I will not be leaving this level without the chalice. And I have a generally good idea where it is. And I fell. I keep trying to do a dash jump, but I feel like it's like not a thing in this game, if I recall correctly. Another thing I should be thankful of is that excess damage in this type of game is not really anything too serious. If you take a lot of damage, you can always go back to a previous level and just heal it off. So here, I'm being way too reckless and just waving my sword like mad. Time Rune is up there, obviously. With this enemy, it's just... there we go. It's a mess to deal with, but don't stick around too long if you don't really need to. Now, was it here or in the first area? Okay. Yeah, I think it is past here. I definitely need more health. But I think these guys should be enough to get the full chalice. There we go. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of finding it. It's definitely in a cave. That's the way out, which I am not going to yet. It should be this way, if I recall correctly. And thankfully, if you did miss out on the hammer, you can always use the club and just get the stuff that way. And where is that chalice? Okay, no, it is in the beginning then, so I'm wrong. Oh god. I almost fell in there a third time. I did fall in there a third time because I am bad. Me too, Dan. Me too. I almost fell again. Why is this game doing this to me? Should still be there, right? I didn't use all of it up yet. Okay, there's not much left, though. I don't think I really need to go back to one of the earlier levels to get the full bottle yet. I'll probably do it in between episodes. There's a health vial up there as well, so I might not even need to. But that health vial is where the chalice is. That path. Just forgot how to take it. The way this game is really challenging, not only because of the enemies that come in later on. This game, because of its age, will sometimes mess with you because of the camera angles. There will be stuff that it's not going to show you. Or there will be stuff that's... well, I wouldn't say not going to show you, but there's stuff that's going to be out of the way. Like right here, there should be another path to that health vial. There we go. Again, it's a case of me just being bad. It's always good to explore, just to make sure you get every single thing possible. You got money, and the chalice. And that should be everything, so... if I can go back... oh, I can't. Well, I can, but... do I need to enchant the sword again? I mean, it's already stronger than the short sword to begin with. I don't think I truly need to. At least not yet. I think I'm fine with it. And that should be back at full health as well, so that's good. It took a lot longer than I really needed to get through this level, but that's life. And life is about falling off 3 different times in the same location. Oh, good. Okay. There. I keep neglecting to use the strong attack too. You just had to hit me. Thankfully, there should be health in the... did I just go in a circle? I was going to say there should be health in the beginning of the next level. Okay. Dan, don't scare me like that. Then it should be this way, isn't it? Okay, there we go. There we go. To the Hall of Heroes! Away! And I think now it's going to be the same guy who gave us the enchanted sword, but he just gives us either money or another life bottle.
Gaining allies in the Hall of the Heroes is the way forward. Hack, choppity chop. Off with a few zombies' heads, and it thinks it can redeem itself in battle. still have a long way to go to rank as the best.
So even now, even if we've made progress, the gargoyles are still giving us crap. Not the hammer guy yet. Yep.
By God, Fortescue, you must be the luckiest corpse ever to walk the face of the earth. I have something here I can lend to you. Take it or leave it, but remember, I'm only doing this for the sake of Gallomir's doomed population, and not for you, you gangly buffoon!
Despite his attitude, we'll accept the gift, which is money. Money! Money! So no health yet. And with the amount of chalices we've gotten already, we've gotten 2 gifts from every single statue on the first floor, which means next chalice should be the first of the second floor, which is a group of a lot better weapons. And with those weapons come tougher enemies, obviously, better equipment, which I just said, and story progression. And with that, we'll be going on to the Pumpkin Serpent. I thought this level was also named the Pumpkin King, but that might just be me. That's what I might be calling it. So immediately we're faced with these glowing pods here. This whole level is effectively one big boss fight, and the way to turn on the boss fight is to smash up those pods. Just like before, there was also these pumpkin enemies that are here, and a cauldron. Before, I believe I mentioned that the Witch's Talisman is a side quest. It technically is, but at the same time it's technically not. It is required to finish the game. And what else do you use it for? But a Witch's Cauldron.
Greetings, kind sir. I am the Pumpkin Witch. I'm like a mother to those pumpkins. I give them all the love and care a young fruit could ever ask for. From the moment they first push a shoot above the soil, right up until their heads are cut off and eaten. And look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief. That nasty old big pumpkin has a bad influence on the young seedlings. If you teach him a lesson in manners, I might give you a nice present.
So we have an objective from the witch, which is to take down the giant pumpkin, which is kind of our objective to begin with. We have the 9 pods, and I did not mean to run into that vine. There should be either more vials around here or a healing spring. And I believe with the more pods you chop off, either enemies spawn or they will have vines around. We have the boss right here already, but he's not awake yet. The chalice is in this level, clearly, since we have the icon in the corner. But we don't have it anywhere near us just yet. But we actually have just passed it. Oh god. Didn't even see you guys. I don't think there's a vendor gargoyle here yet, or at all. There's a spring there, thankfully. I think this is a bomb. No, it's a shield. Okay, that's fine. Try not to rely too much on this healing spring if you're struggling a bit. If you need it, you can use it. But generally, it's best to save it for when you absolutely need it at low health. I forget that there's like 2 kinds of these those pumpkin enemies. The ones that lob their tongue at you, and the ones that like throw seeds at you, like these guys do. I don't think there's really a specific way to tell them apart. Maybe it's a different color. I know in MediEvil Resurrection, the PSP remake, they are different colors slightly. Are there enemies here? Can't even see them. No. Okay, so it's just those two pods left. And then, once we activate this last pod, the boss battle begins. As you can see here, he has a lot of health, starting with 1100, and he hits hard, obviously. The bombs do some pretty good damage to him, but generally your sword should be enough. Oh god. If you really don't like fighting him close up like this, don't be afraid to use the arrows and throwing daggers. And once he's gone, the field returns to life. But we don't have the chalice quite yet. Once you take out the enemies here, that should be more than enough. And I think there's a few more that spawn where the chalice actually is. And he went down kind of quickly. I didn't get to mention that in the Japanese version, which I was trying to talk about before, the boss can actually heal himself. And I believe in the PS4 remake he does as well, in the North American version, or all versions. So they kind of made it the same as in Japan. However, he's still not really all that tough. But once you do beat him though, the well is now opened, and this is where the chalice will end up. Plus some health if you really needed some more of it, which at that point I did. And you can also enchant the sword again, but at that point it's a little bit too late. Now where is... I sent there to the witch too. Don't forget to talk to the witch afterwards, because you need to talk to her.
A most edifying spectacle, sir. Man and vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death. Oh, I've come over all of a doodah. Here, have this lovely dragon gem as your reward. Oh, lovely, majestic creatures dragons are.
And we get the dragon gem. This item is required to finish the game, so you definitely need to come here, talk to her, and pick it up. Make sure you don't forget it. And are you the last one? No, but this next one should be. Or we're almost done at least. There we go. Chalice can be collected. And we can run. Did I just step on a mouse? Or step on the rats? I know the hammer can kill the rats and the running hands in the graveyard levels, but I never think that jumping on them would kill them like that. But but that is it for the Pumpkin Serpent. Pope King Pumpkin. And I believe that should be the last mission on this path. No message from the gargoyle this time. No gifts from any of these guys, and like I said, we are now free to go to the second floor.
Dan. Tell me, what's a warrior queen gotta do to meet someone like you? Don't be shy, baby. I've seen you giving me the eye. You may be weak and feeble like old men, but I like you, Daniel. Oh, I love a man who doesn't talk back. I think if you return, I may take you for my husband. Now listen up, sugar. Your bow and arrows are fine for itty-bitty jobs, but if you want to pack some serious heat, you should take this spear.
And we will accept it graciously.
Think of me when you throw it.
And we have a new ranged weapon. The spear, just like she said, is a lot stronger than the crossbow and daggers were, especially the daggers. However, as you can see, there's limited ammo of it, only being 30. You can obviously buy more of them, but they are a bit more expensive, obviously. It's kind of give and take with stuff like that. I would definitely save them for a bit later though. You will get to see me use them, but not for a little while. But with that, we are done for the Hall of Heroes for now. And we can move on with our journey. And that is it. As I said, that's the last mission for this path. The only way we can go now is back to the Scarecrow Fields. There's another path we're able to take. That path is to the Sleeping Village. I think I'm going to be going there next, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, the Enchanted Earth. So we can go for either of those two paths. However, again, we do not have the means of finishing the Enchanted Earth just yet. So I'm going to be going, that sounds so weird, to the Sleeping Village next. So next time in MediEvil, that's what we'll be doing. And I will see you guys then. Take it easy.